Transmigration. The Eastern and Native American cultures were big on transmigration. The process of someone taking on the body of another person, usually a freshly dead person. In India, it is called Parakaya Pravesa, entering another body. It is considered one of the Ashtasiddhis or the eight great capabilities for a yogi. There are many instances of transmigration in Indian lore. One famous instance is that of Adi Shankara. In ancient India, there were neither heretics nor the persecution of people for their personal beliefs. Whenever people had something new to propagate, they would debate with those holding opposing views. During his time, Adi Shankara was a formidable debater. His sense of logic was astute. You don't argue with a man like that. But once a famous religious scholar challenged Adi Shankara to a debate and lost. Then that man's wife maneuvered herself into the argument. You know how women are. They are fiercely protective of those dear to them. She said, "You defeated my husband, but he is not whole. We are two halves of the same thing. So you must debate with me also. How can you beat this logic?" So the debate started with the woman. Then she saw she was losing. So she started asking him questions about human sexuality. Nevertheless, Shankara continued to debate with her. Then she went into more details and then she challenged, "What do you know about experience?" This was a trap because Shankara was a brahmachari. He realized that this was a trick to defeat him. He said, "I need a month's break. We will pause the debate here and resume after a month." He then went into a secluded cave. He told his disciples, "No matter what happens, don't allow anyone into this cave because I am going to leave my body and look for another possibility for some time." It so happened that a king was bitten by a cobra and had just died. Normally, when someone dies, from the moment the breath stops, it takes about an hour and a half for the prana vayu to exit completely. The other pranas will be still present and exiting slowly, but the prana vayu will have exited completely by then. But when the cause of the death is a cobra bite, this takes up to 4.5 hours. So in many ways, this is an ideal condition for one who wants to enter that body. Shankara left his own body to take the king's body. He left behind his vyana in the system because his body needed to be maintained for him to be able to come back. He took the king's body to answer the woman's questions experientially. So he went through that process when some wise people around the king saw that a man whom they had declared dead had suddenly sat up and was full of energy. They became suspicious. They could recognize by his behavior that it was not the same person. It was clear to them that there was someone else in the same body. They sent soldiers all over the kingdom to look out for dead bodies and burn them immediately. Their intention was that now, since the king had come back alive, he should not leave and go back. So, what if he was a different guy? He looked the same, and it was very important for the kingdom to have its king. So, the soldiers were sent everywhere to find and burn all the dead bodies. The soldiers managed to locate Shankara's body in the cave and wanted to burn it. His disciples tried to mislead them, saying that their guru was not dead but in Savasana and would wake up soon. Suspecting fraud, the soldiers built a pyre in the cave itself and placed Sankara's body on it. Just as they were about to light the pyre, sensing this situation, Sankara relinquished the king's body and returned to his own. The king dropped dead once again, and Sankara returned and went on to win the debate he had left midway. A person who does this kind of circus with his energies usually does not live long after that, because all this expends a tremendous amount of energy. It is said that Sankara left his body shortly after this incident at the age of 32. Actually, no one knows how or where he left his body. He was last seen in Kedarnath. This incident may have accelerated his departure. There is another famous incident involving a yogi who was later known as Tirumular in Tamil Nadu. His original name was Sundaranathar. He was from southern Tamil Nadu and travelled to Mount Kailas. It is said that he was initiated there by Shiva himself. After spending many years at Mount Kailas, he returned south to meet his contemporary sage friend Agastya Muni, who had settled in Tamil Nadu. While passing through a forest on his way back, he saw a herd of cows crying. Their cow herd had just died of a snake bite. Moved by the sorrow of the cows, he decided to take the dead cowherd's body for some time and console the cows. He left his body inside the hollow of a tree and entered the body of the cowherd. The cows became happy and he herded them back to the village. He then came back to the tree to retrieve and re-enter his own body. But to his surprise, his body was not to be found anywhere. So he continued to live in the body of the cowherd. People in the village were very surprised to see that their simple cowherd now espoused spiritual teachings and composed many spiritual hymns. His name was Mular, so out of respect, they began calling him Thirumular. Thiru is a Tamil honorific, and he became known by that name. Over 3,000 spiritual compositions are attributed to Thirumular, and they are sung even today. Are such things possible? Very much possible. There are many more examples of transmigration in India. Is it a feat? Not really. All it takes is a little bit of an understanding of the mechanics of how life happens within you. Now, if one wants to enter the body of someone who is alive, it would take a lot more. Either the person whose body you enter into must also be accomplished enough that they can make space for the other person, or they must be extremely weakened because of disease or something, and it is like they are halfway gone. If it is a full blooded body and there is no awareness of anything, then it is not possible. All this is occult. It is not of spiritual significance, really. It is also one way of sometimes proving to yourself or to others that such things can be done. Or sometimes these things are done to do something that you do not want to do in your own body. The reasons can vary. Sadguru Sri Brahma also did something like this towards the end of his life. In a desperate attempt to fulfill his guru's dream,